And we're live.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in onto the point with
Skip.
And the King. You guys know where to find us. We showed you the cards. We showed you Skip's book. You guys know where to find us everywhere online. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, which is hopefully where you're watching us right now.
Twitter. Don't forget Twitter.
Skip's Twitter. Dougie J's.
Yeah.
Where else can they find you, Skipper?
SimonBroder.com.
That's right. That's where you guys can go get that book, Running the Point. Great read. Okay.
Have you read it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian read my book. All right.
Of course I read it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
What happens at the climax?
Yeah, listen.
All right, let's go on. Let's move on.
I gotta ask. Listen, Skip. Guys, we're sorry we haven't been around that long. Like we've told you when you've interacted with us out there in person, we've mentioned that the NBA has not been like really too much to cover. But right now, till the end of the season, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy, and
It's gonna be all Raptors. That's what it's gonna be.
Let me see that shirt.
We the
That's
champs,
right.
baby.
Okay. It's going to be nuts. We're going to be right there for you guys. You guys got Skip and the King. We're going to take care of you guys. Skip, one of the greatest things that I've seen just happen recently is there's a certain gentleman out there who in 2010 started playing basketball. 2016 won the G League Finals MVP for your Raptors 905 team. He won the Most Improved Player. Now he's an NBA champion.
NBA championship.
He's an NBA champion, and now he's a starting all-star, Skip. We all know him. We like to call him Spicy P. His name is Pascal Siakam. Skip, what do you think about him, man?
I think I'm like, let's be honest. I'm thrilled that he's on the All-Star team.
Hallelujah.
He's really stepping into his own as Kawhi's gone and as he's become the featured player in the Raptors offense. But it's a bit of an awkward time for him to be named an All-Star as he's coming back from injury. And he's kind of struggled a bit the last couple games. I mean, he's still putting up points, but you saw 8 for 23 the other night in the Philly game. I gotta say, I wasn't quite as excited about it as I thought I would be. I really sort of still think Lowry's the guy who should be getting that starting nod.
I was going to ask you think Lowry should be starting instead of Kemba?
And there's no slag in Siakam. He deserves to be an All-Star, but honestly, Jimmy Butler probably could have been an All-Star over him this year, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself. But I'm thrilled that he got the nod. Go out there, be our All-Star. Maybe it motivates him to come back stronger in the second half and really be that player he was before he got hurt, because he's looked a little tentative since he came back.
He's looked a little tentative. We have seen the last 6 games now from your Raptors.
Yeah, 6 games.
They're 6-0 right now.
6-game win streak.
They've gone through OKC, Washington, Atlanta, Philly, New York. They've gone through a bit.
And they've claimed the second seed. Almost.
Tied for
the second seed.
With the biggest surprise, Miami.
Yeah.
So based on what the Raptors have done over their last 6-0, Skip,
yeah.
Where do you accredit that to? Like, who do you think? Because give me a second here.
Yeah.
We saw them play the New York Knicks last night. To me, it looked like a cat and mouse game where the cat was just like playing with the mouse, teasing them. You know, it was all after San Antonio came here and DeRozan beat them by 1 point. You know, you had OKC, they stopped them. They had Atlanta, they stopped them. They had Washington, they stopped them. They had Philly, they stopped them. The Raptors, I've noticed, they've been going cold early in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Really turning it on.
I agree, yeah.
Really turning it on. And shout out to my mom, my 2 favorite women in the planet. That game against Philly, their favorite player, Van Vliet, went crazy that fourth quarter. But do you see anything else going on for the Raptors in order for them to be in this position right now, Skip?
Well, I mean, the number one thing is that Norm's gone off. Norm has just been insane. He's become basically a 20-point-per-game scorer the last the last 6 games, but pretty much for the season. He's up to 15 points per game on the season.
23, 28, 20.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's putting up numbers.
I looked at his stats today. He's shooting 41.7% from 3. That's really amazing. That's pretty much elite. Like, that's up there with like the JJ Redicks of the world. It's 19th in the NBA. His effective field goal percentage is a little more complicated. It factors in free throws and 2-point percentage and how much each point is worth. That's 61%, which is sort of, I don't really know how to read that number, but it's 9th in the league. Yeah. That's really good.
That's amazing.
High. It means that when he takes a shot, he's putting up basically 60% of a point.
And he's wearing a t-shirt while he's playing too.
Yeah, he's kicking ass basically, and he has really emerged as sort of the breakout star that a lot of people were hoping that OG Anunoby would be this year. I think it really has been Norm, and we saw this dating back from the preseason. People were saying Norm's looking really good with his shot, like he's really going off, and then he started the season really cold. The first 5 or 6 games just wasn't really making his shots, and it looked like he was just the same old Norm. Then he got hot, then he got hurt, but then he came back even hotter. And that's what makes me think that maybe he really is this player. Maybe he is that next level 3-point shooter. That guy who can be, as people have been saying, like your Lou Williams or your, even honestly, like your JJ Redick. I mean, he's not really that type of player, but like just an actual bomber from 3.
Robert Horry, if you guys are old school like me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's quite the build of Robert Horry, but yeah, he's that's not a terrible comparison.
Could be there. He could be there.
No, but back to your point. But yeah, Norman's been kicking ass, and I really want to see him move up into the starting lineup. To be honest, I think I'm really interested to see what the Raptors look like with a starting lineup of Lowry, Van Vliet, Norman Powell in OG's spot, and then Gasol and Siakam. But the only problem with that, and the one reason why I think Nurse might not be jumping on that right away, is because if you have OG coming off the bench, then you also have Terrence Davis coming off the bench. You also have Hollis Jefferson, Patrick McCaw. That's a really good defensive unit, but where's your scoring coming from? Like, exactly. OG can't score. Hollis Jefferson can't shoot.
OG's proven he cannot score these last 6 games.
I mean, okay, I shouldn't say he can't score, but he's not like a guy you want to rely on to get offense. I think Norm, in that bench role, he can be the focal point of that offense. And he can be the guy that goes out and gets you points while everyone else is busy just getting stops. But anyway, back to the last 6 games. I think the last 6 games have been pretty solid. I think they've actually played a lot of these games a little closer than I'd like. And I'm not entirely sure if that's just regular season malaise, if it's just not taking teams seriously until the second half. I think there's a lot of that going on.
I agree with you on that one because the Eastern Conference is so thick.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at that game against New York, like New York tied it with like 2 minutes left, but then the Raptors were like, yeah, you're not scoring.
Yeah, it was over.
The one game that actually worried me a bit was the game against Atlanta. Atlanta looked really frisky in that game, and I think the Raptors were a bit on their heels. And
on MLK Day.
And they had to just kind of squeeze it out in the fourth. But yeah, the game against Minnie, the game against New York, I think they were just like...
Toying with them.
We're not worried about you. Like
Washington, they were just toying with
Washington,
them.
They just were like, yeah, you're out of here.
Yeah.
No, they've looked good, and I think there's a lot of good things that are coming out of this. I mean...
What do you think that's good that's coming out of this?
Well, I just look up and down the roster, and I think, what is the best version of this team? And the best version of this team is when Kyle Lowry is being a 20-point-per-game scorer. He's being a lead guard. He's getting assists. He's setting up Serge. He's setting up Pascal.
Setting up Van Vliet.
No one has set up Gasol. Gasol's not really that kind of player. But then you got Lowry. He's being an all-star. You got Gasol. He's flashing like Memphis Gasol. He's running the defense. He's making those running hook shots. He's making threes. He's just being that, I don't know, the anchor of the team.
Pretty much. Like, when you're in trouble, throw it to Gasol. And then either going to make a good pass or a great shot.
So then you got Lowry and Gasol as the points, and then you got Siakam. He's your all-star. He's your guy that goes and gets you buckets. He gets layups. He makes threes. He runs your transition. Then you got Norm and Fred VanVleet. That's two knockdown 3-point shooters who play great defense. That's a really great starting unit if those guys are all clicking. And if they can get to that level in the playoffs where those 5 guys are on the floor, you notice that's why I said Norm should be the starter, because that's the 5-man unit that really excites me when I think about the playoffs. I know I'm not hating on OG. I think OG plays really good defense. I understand why he's in the starting lineup.
He's been slacking those last couple
But as far as
games.
scoring, as far as really putting your best foot forward in a playoff series, that's the 5-man unit I want to see on the floor at the end of the game. And I think if those 5 guys are all clicking, I start to wonder, can the Raptors beat a Giannis? Can the Raptors go up against, well, maybe an LA Clippers or Lakers? We'll see about that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
The question is, Giannis is the obstacle right now.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Those Milwaukee Bucks are unbelievable. Last year, this year, wow. But the Raptors did take them out in the playoffs last year. Anyway.
With Kawhi on Giannis, though, that's the concern. Like this, is Hollis Jefferson?
I don't know. Raptors
can
fans
Hollis Jefferson take Giannis? I don't know about that.
Maybe Davis can.
No,
who knows?
No, Davis.
What about my boy Matt Thomas?
Terrence Davis on Giannis. I want to see that.
That'd be interesting. Skip. So as you touched on Milwaukee, I gotta ask you, like, the NBA East right now is pretty thick.
Yeah,
right? Extremely thick. How many did you say? 6?
I would say 6.
Let's count them. Milwaukee, Miami, Toronto, Philly, Boston, Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's Brooklyn lurking if Katie magically comes back from his Achilles.
That's not going to happen.
Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine if the Raptors get the 2 seed, which they're positioned to get the 2 seed right now, if the Raptors get the 2 seed and they play Brooklyn in the first round as the 7 seed, and then Katie comes back for that series, and it's just like the Warriors series all over again. Like, it's like, is Katie coming back for Game 4 or Game 5?
And he's going to injure and lose another year, and then Kyrie's going to cry
I should not laugh about that, but
Kyrie's going to cry for another year. But Skip, based on the Eastern Conference contenders, I got to ask you a question. The Raptors right now, they have their next 10 games before the All-Star break, which is, to me, one of my best times. You know, next week is Super Bowl.
The All-Star? Yeah, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. But
what's so great with the All-Star?
I love the All-Star game.
I get bored, honestly.
Who doesn't love the All-Star game?
I'm like, where's the real game? Like, I want to watch a real game. I don't care about this All-Star.
It's fun. It's funny. It's actually pretty stupid to see. But before the Raptors get to the All-Star break, they have another 10 games going on.
Yep.
Now, these teams that they're going to be playing are pretty subpar. Like, you got San Antonio Spurs, you got Atlanta, you got Cleveland,
Spurs
you got
are
Detroit,
playing better, by the way.
You got Chicago, you got Indy twice, you got Brooklyn, you got Minnesota, then you got Brooklyn again. Okay. The Raptors are now on a 6-0 run, Skip. There's 10 more games, and it looks like the Raptors can go the next 10-0.
10-0? I mean,
if you're a Raptors fan, you gotta have hope, right? You guys gotta love it. You gotta want it. What do you think realistically?
I could see 10-0, but I don't think they'll go 10-0. But I can see if they're their best version of themselves, they can win every one of those games. Realistically, I'm shooting for an 8-2 maybe. Like 7-3 would be fine.
8-2?
6-4 would be super disappointing. 7-3 or 8-2 is what I'd be going for.
You want to bet? I'm gonna say 9-1.
All right, I'm gonna say
9-1. You ready? Because they're playing Indiana twice.
They're
gonna lose.
They're gonna lose one game to Indy. They're
gonna lose one game to Indy. You want to bet?
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna say 8-2. They're gonna choke one game against Indy, and they're gonna lose one game, one random back-to-back or something.
Maybe like against Atlanta. Or something.
And
I'm still gonna say 9-1. Raptors fans, I have faith in you.
8-2 is still pretty optimistic. If I was conservative, I'd go 7-3. But you know, we only bet loonies on this podcast, so
we don't even bet anything. Like nobody's been exchanging Bitcoin. Okay, Skip. So with the Raptors going forward in the next 10, how do you see that playing out for them going towards the end of the season? Like, do you think this is like a steamroller, like Mike Myers, a Deadpool, like pushing the steamroller, right? How do you think this could play out for them and help them and be beneficial towards your Toronto Raptors towards the end of the season? Do you think this can help out?
Of course. I think they're tied for the 2 seed right now. I haven't looked at Miami's schedule over the next 10 games, but I know it's not as easy as the Raptors. I think the Raptors go 8-2. They can easily surpass Miami. And if you look at net rating right now, the only teams in the East with a better net rating than the Raptors are the Bucks and the Celtics. Miami wins a lot of overtime games. They just sneak by bad teams. Yeah. If Miami drops back a bit, and the Celtics don't have an easier road to the 2 seed than the Raptors, I think if the Raptors go 8-2, go 9-1 in the next 10 games, that's when you sort of see them cement themselves as that 2 seed, as in the same position as they were last year. And you start to look at it, I think maybe the top 4 teams in the East will be the exact same as they were last year. It'll be Milwaukee on top, it'll be Toronto second, and then was it Boston 4? Boston 4 and Philly 3?
Yeah.
I mean, Boston's better than Philly right now.
Yeah, but you think Miami's going to drop out of that?
Well, I think Miami will be. I could see them being a 5 seed. I don't know. It's also such a cluster. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is the time for the Raptors to take that 2 seed by the horns and to really, as I said, they're healthy now. They've got their best 5 guys on the floor when they need them to be. With Patrick McCaw out, we got to see Terrence Davis play a few more minutes last night. Really like to see Terrence Davis take Patrick McCaw's minutes.
Very happy to see
and really like to see Matt Thomas take Patrick McCaw's minutes too. I don't know.
My boy!
But let's be honest.
Matt! Oh, man.
There's some rumors on Twitter that Masai Ujiri will trade Patrick McCaw just so that Nick Nurse won't use him as much.
No, well, let's hope so, because listen, man, I'm not dissing the guy. I like the guy. He's a 2-time champion.
3-time champion, actually.
We're not counting. But, seeing him on the floor, like, just seeing his overall performance for, even though the Raptors have won the last 6 games, just seeing what he's been doing, like, 20-something minutes, 2 points. Really?
So the worst...
Really? I'm actually happy that... Listen, I do not wish any will on any player getting injured.
Yeah,
it sucks, and you know what? You guys got to make your money. You guys make us happy. We love it. Good for you. Maybe, to me, this is like a blessing in disguise. Like, maybe the Raptors can utilize some of the other players. Like, I'm seeing Hollis. I'm seeing Davis. I'm seeing... who?
It's Matt
Thomas. Oh, Boucher!
Well, that's a positional thing, but... Yeah.
Well, bring those guys on. Give them the minutes. Stop giving them like 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. Let them only.
Well, Boucher hasn't played since everyone's been healthy. He's been nailed to the bench. Same with Matt Thomas.
Yep.
I'd really like to see a little bit more from those guys.
Oh, Boucher played the last couple games, but
no, he hasn't.
He played against Minnesota and Atlanta.
Yeah, but he only got into garbage time. He hasn't played a single meaningful minute in these games.
You're right.
Yeah. So Patrick McCaw, not really what you want on a championship team. Last I checked, this is slightly outdated, but last I checked, McCaw and Serge Ibaka had the 2 worst plus-minuses on the team. Terrence Davis had the best plus-minus on the team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that plus-minus means the world, but...
still.
Okay, so... You want to play the guy with the best plus-minus on your team or the guy with the worst plus-minus
on
your
team? Yeah, you want to play the guy that's going to put you in a losing position? It's not a hard
decision for Nick Nurse.
Exactly.
And you know why Patrick McCaw's coming back tomorrow is because Nick Nurse... Because he knows that if he's out for an extended period, he's probably going to lose minutes. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've covered your Toronto Raptors, ladies and gentlemen...
Our Toronto Raptors.
Your Toronto Raptors. We want to know what you guys have to say about this. We want to know what you guys think. How do you think the Raptors are going to fare until the All-Star break? By the way, me and Skip are going to be here before that because there's all kinds of craziness going on right now in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen.
Zion.
Oh my goodness.
Zion's debut.
This is what I'm getting at, Skip. There's a mountain.
Yeah.
It's called Zion. It's where people go.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's where the 10 Commandments came from.
What an epic name, eh?
Right? Now, I gotta ask you, Skip. Because we saw the other night, he went 4 for 4 from 3. Everybody said he can't shoot a 3. Highest in the NBA rookie debut ever. And then last night I saw him, dude, he knocked that ball like into like the next street. Like he just knocked it way over on that block. What do you think about Zion right now, Skip?
So I'll be honest. I mean, I watched his debut on my phone. I wasn't like sitting in front of the TV, but I had it open on my phone, and I was not that impressed at first. I was like, you know, they were saying on the broadcast he looks a little chubby, he looks a little slow. I was seeing that, and he looked really tentative. And in my head, I'm thinking like, this guy's just another overhyped big man, because I'm not a huge fan of big man prospects, because if a guy comes in the league and all he can do is dunk, like, that's great, but like, that's not what wins you titles. Like, that's why, let's be honest, that's why AD was terrible in New Orleans, because he's not the kind of guy that is just going to win you a title on his own.
Exactly.
I looked at Zion and I was like, okay, so he's just another pretty good big man, like, and with injury issues, you know, you almost think like Greg Oden. Not that I should say that name, but that's that's bad karma.
Wow.
Anyway, so I was watching him. I'm just like, wow, what's so special about this guy? And obviously, every time I'm looking up, he's getting pulled out of the game, and like then with three minutes into a quarter, he get yanked out of the game. Like, okay, what's so special about this? And then that fourth quarter happens, and you just go, wow, like that's what this kid can do. That's right. What this kid can do.
And that's what we need to see him do.
Yeah.
But then again, Skip, I gotta ask you a question about Zion. What was that Katy Perry song? Firecracker or something like that? Is he coming in like a firecracker? Or is he gonna really prolong his career and be dominant?
Well, that's what I wonder.
Like, is he gonna get on that curve like where Giannis is right now? You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean.
Continuously stepping up, or is he gonna go on that Greg Oden where you start here and you just?
Yeah.
Is he a firecracker, or is he something that's going to be prolonged in the NBA?
That's a really good question, and I don't think anyone knows that yet.
You can't see the future.
I wonder the same thing. Like anytime someone's super hyped, you watch it and you're like, okay, is this the real deal?
Is it?
We never know. Is this the next LeBron, or is this the next Greg Oden or Anthony Bennett? I mean, he's not Anthony Bennett, but like someone who just, you know, flash in the pan. People are really talking him up like he's going to be the next big thing. All I would say to that is that a lot of next big things never become what you thought they were going to be. And Ja Morant's looking pretty good.
Listen, Skip, we got to look this up, because I actually said this a couple months ago when we were talking about the young kids coming up. And I said, Ja Morant, watch out for him.
Yeah. Those Grizzlies.
This boy is, oh my. He's making me want to watch Memphis.
Yeah, with JV in the middle and around a bunch of rookies, like, looking pretty good.
Well, the only two reasons I want to watch Memphis is just him and Justin Timberlake. Only reasons.
Well, you might get to see them get waxed by the Lakers in the first round.
Listen, let's not get into the Lakers right now, because they're a very huge surprise. This is absolutely crazy. I don't know if you want to get into this now, Skip. We don't need to talk Lakers tonight. We don't need to talk about the West Coast right now, because that's just. Skip, do you have anything else to say to the ladies and gentlemen out there? Is there anything else you want to let these Raptors fans, Raptors Nation, know about right now?
All I want to say, speaking of our Lakers point, it's about 8 o'clock on Saturday night. We're about to go watch the Lakers play the Sixers.
Yeah.
Sixers without Embiid, without Josh Richardson. And let me just say that the Sixers are frauds. Let let me just say that I came into this season.
I love
Very
it.
good.
I love you, dude.
I come into this season and I was like, the Raptors just scraped by the Sixers in 7 games. This year, they got us back for that. This year, they punch back. This year, they say, we almost got you last year. Now we're going to knock you the bleep out.
Yep. Give it to him.
Jimmy Butler's gone. I watch the Sixers. They're okay.
You know what's actually funny?
They're okay.
Joel Embiid got 0 points in the last 2 games against the Raptors.
Well, yeah, because he didn't play. Yeah, I get it. No, but I honestly think that without Jimmy Butler to keep that engine moving, the Sixers now know that the Raptors own them. The Raptors own the Sixers the way that LeBron used to own the Raptors.
And Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, well, anyway, I just don't see the Sixers getting it together this year unless they make a massive trade at the deadline. I think they might play the Raptors in the second round. I'd personally rather play the Celtics because, believe it or not, the Raptors have never played the Celtics in the playoffs.
Is that due to your hatred of the Celtics?
Well, I mean, I dislike the Celtics. I don't...
Because honestly, I think they're a way better team than the Sixers.
Oh, no.
Dude, Tatum, Brown. Oh, look at these kids. Kemba.
Let's be honest.
Look at these guys. Oh, my
I don't want to play
goodness.
either of these teams in the first round. You're going to play one of them in the second round, probably.
You're going to play like Orlando in the first round. Or something like that.
You're not going to play Orlando because the Raptors are not catching Milwaukee. But they're going to play Brooklyn. That's what I said. They're going to be the 2 seed. They're going to play Brooklyn. And they're going to beat Brooklyn.
And then Kyrie's going to choke. Yeah.
And then you get into the Celtics and the Sixers. And yeah, maybe I'd rather play the Sixers. But first of all, the Sixers, they still do have that revenge factor. And I worry that if we play them, they'll make me eat my words. But I'd be confident in that series now. I wouldn't be scared. I'd be confident.
Skip, I don't know if they'll make you eat the words because your foot might already be in there.
But the Celtics, the reason why I kind of want to play the Celtics instead of the Sixers is just because the Raptors have never played the Celtics, and I want to see if they're for real.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I would say the Celtics scare me more than the Sixers right now. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So we'll do that going forward.
Yeah.
Guys, next time we see you, it's going to be before the All-Star game. We hope you guys put in your votes. And everybody out there, great job on voting in Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, now we got to get Lowry
as an All-Star.
Six consecutive games.
Yeah, get Lowry in there too. That's all the Raptors need. You Raptors fans, I'm sure you guys are loving this. You know what? We're going to take that Valentine's Day weekend off. You know, spend it with the significant others. That would be you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll be watching that shit all weekend. Wait, did I say that? Sorry.
Right.
We hope you guys enjoy it, but the trade deadline will be there shortly after, and we will be covering that. We'll be covering for your All-Stars. We'll be letting you guys know what... I think we might do our own skills competition and just talk some stupid random stuff before the All-Star game.
Well, we gotta go down to the park and then we'll just film it, you know? Throw it up
You know
on
what, we
YouTube.
want to play a game of horse?
Yeah.
Done. Anyway, guys, thank you for sticking with us. You know, Skip, next week we're putting out the video because it'll make a year that we've been doing this, and we got to thank you guys for sticking with us for this past year, showing us your support, talking to us on the street, giving us ideas, bringing up topics, giving us your response to your Toronto Raptors. We appreciate it. We love it. There's nothing more that means more to us than that. And on top of all that, good afternoon, good morning, good night, and
Good evening.
peace.